We're back with Mr. Arlotta for Principal's Corner. So let's talk about some things that are going on around school, like the fashion show.
Okay, that just happened recently. Everybody thinks it's certainly a cool event. You know, kids like to get dressed up and walk the runway and strut their stuff. And I'm sure that's what you probably hear, but I don't know if a lot of people understand that there's also a service component of it.
Yeah.
All right, they raise money for an organization called Hope Lodge every year, which helps cancer patients. And so we like to try to do a lot of things around here that are service-oriented, giving back. We're very fortunate to be here. I also want to thank Lord and Taylor for donating the dresses and working with our students every year and stuff. So it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, students really like dressing up and being able to wear the dresses.
And walk the runway, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's fun.
That's kind of cool.
Another thing coming up is the spring scenes. They start tonight.
Okay.
They are wicked and whimsical, so they're twists on fairy tales.
Good. So I'm looking forward. I'm actually going tonight. Miss Montalbano has kind of made the program her own over the years, where the fall is pretty traditionally, what we've done. But in the spring, she has a lot of fun with some different things, and sometimes it's under a theme, sometimes it's under a particular playwright. So these, I think, all are under, as you said, kind of the little mystery, but also the little comedy and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to these vignettes.
And I know they're usually like short scenes where seniors get to direct their own scenes.
Right,
really
that's
cool.
a cool part of it. It's mostly student directed, and it's always good as an educator to really take your expertise and really allow students to really learn some things there. So kind of cool.
Yep. Another thing that happened was the assembly about drunk driving, which I thought was really good.
You did?
Yeah, I really liked it.
You know, as an administrator, you always wonder, does it have an impact? You know, because you try to do these various things, and honestly, if you can change one person's behavior, I think it's worth doing. But I'm curious, maybe you can describe for the viewers a little bit of what it was all about.
So we got to meet a woman who had been in a drunk driving accident, and she had actually lost an arm, and she had suffered a lot from it, and it was just really good to hear from her and her story.
I was a little nervous about would it be too much, because it could be graphic and so forth, but I think she had a nice way of mixing the humor and the reality of what happened, and also with her message.
Definitely.
Yes,
she was really nice.
What'd you hear from the kids? Did they think it was worthwhile?
No, everyone thought it was really good. It wasn't just like a PowerPoint presentation that
or a lecturing at you.
Yeah,
so.
it was really good. And actually seeing somebody who was affected by it. It's really important too.
Great. Well, obviously prom time's coming up. Nice weather's coming up, so hopefully people will use that information to make good decisions moving forward.
Yeah, spring prom is coming up. Sorry.
Senior prom.
Senior prom is coming up after spring break. Where is that being held?
So the senior prom is on the 28th, which is a little early. Some schools do it a little later, but we are doing it here. It's over in Liberty House over in Jersey City. One of the traditions that happens a lot of times here is to try to do a prom close to New York City, where you have the view, and it's certainly, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's an impressive place in terms of the view. Ms. Bacolis and I alternate every year, so she has this one. So I'll hear from afar how it went. I'll be at the junior prom.
Yeah.
Junior prom's at the Brownstone, so I'll take advantage of all of that good food when we get there.
Definitely. Another thing that's coming up after spring break is the park testing, and I know that there's been changes this year.
So we're going from A to Z, right, in terms of prom and all this to testing, which sometimes could be a downer. This has been a really tough year as an administrator for the testing, because there's been so many things out there about the changes that it's been really hard from an administrative end to just manage it. We were originally told that with classes like yours and the future ones, that really the testing would be the sole graduation requirement, which obviously puts a lot of anxiety on a student, right? They've kind of backpedaled that and still allowed some of the alternate ways to show that you're proficient, SATs, PSAT scores. So that has been extended. But then we got a kind of a wacky notice a couple of weeks ago that they were now going to remove the graduation requirement component for 11th graders, and that they do not necessarily need to take the test, all right? So that obviously, probably there's some jubilation when that happened for our 11th graders, and you probably were a little taken aback when I said I'd still love you to take it anyway.
Yeah.
And the reasoning for my email to the students is that we've been preaching all along that there's more benefits to this test than just meeting a graduation requirement. when you go to college, it will be the norm that you're going to take a lot of tests on the computer. You're probably doing more of that even over your time here, right?
Yeah.
So online assessments are the wave of the future, and the more experience you can take with that, I think personally the better. The whole big push of why they went to this type of testing in the first place was so that you can get data quicker and that you can analyze data quicker to show how you've developed from middle school all the way as a now a junior, but also more importantly how we have improved as a school district. You know, what things are we strong at? So in a selfish way, I'd love to be able for you guys to still finish it off so I can use that data, but that'll be, I think, decisions that kids will have to make with their families individually.
No, yeah, I'm sure a lot of kids are not planning on taking it. But
I'd understand it, but like I said, I would like to make a pitch out that there are other reasons more than just
yeah,
meeting the
than just
graduation
taking the
requirement.
test.
Totally understand.
I think that's all we have for today.
Really? All right. It's always quick and always good visiting with you. All right. Thank you.